again, this is the Craps Coach and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining in today. I've got another video I'm going to put in the Craps strategy category. It's about a system called Dave's system that was sent to me by a client. So I'm going to get into that. That's what the video is going to be about. But before I get started, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. You'll know when we put out our latest content. So this is going to be a little bit about a system that I call Dave's system. And it's going to be a little bit about a story also. So let's kind of get into the story. So this is secondhand information. I did not get it from the source's mouth, but I got it from a client that told me about it, and I want to explain to it. I want to go over it and explain it. Okay. I think this all took place on a casino back somewhere on the East Coast, I think, but I'm not sure. So this is the story about Dave. Dave goes to the casino every day. He brings $3,000 with him, which is signified by right here. Dave plays at a $10 table with about 5 times odds. And he initially buys in for 500, which is represented by these chips right here. So he buys in for 500. He doesn't qualify it, he just starts his betting. And what he does is he starts out with a $10 don't pass. And when the shooter makes a point, he moves the point depending on what the point is. So let's kind of go over this. So he starts with a $10 don't pass. Now let's say, for example, the shooter throws a 10, so the moves to 10. Whether the point is 10 or 4, Dave lays no odds when the point is 10 or 4. Not sure why, but that's just what he does. Probably if you go back to a previous video about the myth about placing odds on there, when the point is 10 or 4, I suspect that you have to bet an awful lot. For example, you have to bet 50 to win 25. So that's maybe why he does it. But if the point is 4 or 10, Dave lays no odds. If the point is 5 or 9, Dave lays 75 odds, okay, to win 50. And then when the point is 6 or 8, Dave lays 60 odds, again, to win 50. And that's what Dave does. So after the point's established, Dave keeps making don't pass bets. So and I'll go over this in real time. But let's say, for example, the point is 8. Dave lays 60 odds, and he puts another don't come in this case. And then when the comes move, the don't comes move, Dave lays the appropriate odds. And I'm going to have all this in the description. So if the point is 5 or 9, he lays 75 odds. Point is 6 or 8, he lays 60 odds. And he keeps doing this until the shooter either knocks him off twice, at which point Dave will then remove all his odds and just let his flat bets work till the outcome. So he'll allow that to happen twice. He'll allow himself, for example, let's say this one moves to the 5 and he lays another 75 odds. If, for example, he gets knocked off at 2 points, then he's going to take his odds off and just let the flat bets work. But he keeps doing this, making don't comes until that happens. Now Dave buys in for 500, and his goal is to win 200 profit. So whether he gets that 200 profit in 3 minutes, 5 minutes, he stops and he's done for the day. Dave plays 1 session per day. But if, for example, Dave loses 500, he will then go into his bankroll and take out another 500 and keep going until he either wins 200. So his goal is to win $200 on his bankroll of 3,000 that he buys in. Now when Dave is down 1,000, say he loses that, he's down to his last 1,000, he starts upping the ante a little bit. So when this is the case, when Dave has now gone 1,000 into the hole, Dave just increases his odds. Now he's playing at typically a 5 times table. So when the point is 5 or 9, Dave he's going to put 150 as far as the odds. So let's say he puts a don't pass, the point is 9. Dave's going to lay 150 odds on that. So because of that, his flat bet needs to be at least 30, because that's what you need at a 5 times table in order to lay 150 odds. When the point is 6 or 8, Dave will lay 180 odds. So again, he needs the flat bet to be at least 30. So that's why he's just increased his flat bet to cover the odds increase. And he just is, again, it's the same process as far as he's just going to play this until he gets $200 profit, and then he's going to stop for the day. And Dave plays 1 session. So again, the story is that he usually makes this, whether he gets his 200 profit in as little as 2 minutes or it takes him hours to do. That's what Dave plays, and apparently that he does fairly well at that. And again, the story that related to me was that out of, say, for example, if Dave played 100 times, he's walking away a winner 97 times. So he's got a fairly, at least the story was that he's got a fairly high win percentage. So again, like all systems, they can break down, they can lose, but I wanted to examine this story as far as that goes. So he's got a very specific win limit, $200, and if you represent, say, 3,000 is your bankroll and you're just going to stop at $200 profit, that's actually like 6% return on investment. Honestly, it's probably a little too rich for me. I would probably play it where I am just going to buy in for the first 500, and if that goes, I'm then going to go into my second 500, and if that goes, I'd probably call it a session for the day. But this is the story that was related to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through Dave's system. So now I can't predict, because this will be a live roll, whether this will take me 5 minutes or hours. But what I thought I would do is just kind of examine this system, go through it, play it as Dave says. You can read what's in the description, but also watching the video will kind of show how to do it, and hopefully it makes sense with the description. And I'll go through maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 hands, decisions, and we'll kind of see what it is. So I'm going to keep track of those, and I'm just going to play it out. So to start with, $10 table, we're going to start with 10 on the don't pass. And depending on what the point is, Dave's going to lay odds. So, all right, here we go. And coming up. All right, point is 4. So when the point is 4 or 10, Dave lays no odds. But then he makes another don't come bet. So second roll, 8. So now the don't comes moved to 8. Dave lays 60 odds and then makes another don't come. He keeps making don't comes until he's knocked off twice by the shooter. So this is shooter 1. All right, next roll. Okay, there we go, 7 out. This loses, but that wins. The flat bet pays, and the odds pay 50. So that shooter 7'd out, and then just Dave starts all over again. So again, coming out. And by the way, Dave never hedges on the don't pass. He does not play the any 7s or a field or anything like that. He never hedges his don't pass bet. So again, all right, so coming out. 5, point is 5. Oh, I'm gonna track passes and don't pass. So that was one don't pass. Don't pass will be represented by a red chip. A pass will be represented by a green. So 5 or 9, Dave lays 75 odds. And he just makes another $10 don't come. 4 comes moved to don't comes moved to 4. And he doesn't lay odds when the point or his don't come is 4 or 10. All right. 7 out. This bet loses. This bet wins. His flat bet pays even money, and his odds pay 50. So that's 2 losing hands, and this Dave restarts over on the next shooter. All right, does not hedge on the don't, on the come out roll on the don't pass. All right, coming out. 6 came hard, so Dave's gonna lay 60 odds, and then do another don't come. 10, another don't come. Yo 11, one of the few hits that can actually just take the don't come, and he puts out another don't come. 4, and he makes another don't come. 5, and then he lays 75 odds on the 5 or 9, and he keeps making don't comes. 5. Now David has been knocked off the 5 one time. He's been knocked off of one of his points by the same shooter, but he still keeps making his odds, and then he makes another don't come. All right, 4. Now Dave has been knocked off 2 of his points, and now according to the system, Dave will then take his odds down and just let his flats work till the resolution of this point. So this is the same shooter, still trying to make the point a 6. 5, he loses that don't pass, don't come. 8, all right, 7 out. So the flats just work, and then this flat bet works. So that shooter 7'd out. So now Dave on a new shooter will start over again with the same system. So coming out. 6, and he's gonna take, it's right there, 60 odds. He's gonna make another don't come. Okay, so keeping track, that's 3 don't passes. Yeah, 3 don't passes. And he just goes back up on just doing the same that he was doing. So here he's gonna lay 75 odds. And another don't come. 8. And he's gonna lay 60 odds. And another don't come. 10. Again, he does not lay odds on the 10 or the 4. Okay. 3 craps. So that's just an extra win for that. Nine. And he weighs 75 odds. And he makes another don't come. He has not been knocked off any of his numbers by the shooter, and now he's got at least 6 numbers working for him. Okay, 9. So he's knocked off one of his numbers by the shooter. And keeps it going. So again, his criteria is if he's knocked off 2, he's going to take his odds off. 12 craps, so that's a push. Oh, 7 out. So this loses, that wins. The flats win, and he wins 50. The flat wins, and his odds win 50. The flat wins, and his odds win 50. The flat wins, and the odds win 50. So, and again, that's 4 decisions, and all 4 of them have been don't passes. So if I do a quick assessment here of how it's going, okay, that's the original bet. Dave has made 150, 175. Dave, in this example, in just 4 hands, 4 don't passes, Dave has made his 200. So in this case, according to the system, Dave would simply stop, and then he's done for the day. He's walking away with $200. So again, this was a series, a system that was given to me by a client. One of the takeaways I have with this, again, it was 4 don't passes in a row, so he was able to make a profit on it. I think you saw also some of the rolls knocked his numbers off. He got knocked off 2 numbers during one shooter's roll, and he took his odds off. The other thing I'll point out is that this looks very similar to another video I made. It was called the Super System, so I'll put that link to that video in the description. And it's really just kind of doing this system where you are trying to get up on as many numbers as you can before you hit some sort of criteria where you just stop making don't comes. Again, playing the negative side of it. My other takeaway is not once on the don't pass or the don't come was he, well, on especially the don't pass, was he knocked off with a 7 on the come out roll. He was knocked off this sometimes after he had some don't comes out there. So again, just a kind of a quick system. You could kind of keep playing, but according to the story as related to me, once you make your 200 profit, you are done. He just stops. So again, something to think about. Go watch the video on the Super System and you'll kind of see that this is very similar to it. Dave is essentially trying to get up on as many numbers as he can, where when the 7 comes, he's going to get at least, for his odds bet, he's going to get at least 50 for each number that he has out, with the exception of the 4 and the 10. And the only thing I can speculate on the 4 and the 10 is that he does not want to put odds of 50 down or more aggressively 100 down simply to win 50. He's just risking too much to win too little. And in the order of my videos, you can see one of the last ones I did on the myths of craps. That was something to consider as far as putting odds on the don't pass, or in this case, a don't come. So again, something to think about. You can kind of see how it goes, but that's the story that was related to me of this gentleman that pretty much is winning all the time. Very modest win limit, we'll say. So you know, for example, if I bought in with just 1,000, my return on investment would be a little bit greater than buying in for or having a bankroll of 3,000 and stopping once you hit $200 profit. So again, something to think about. So let me know what you think of the video. Throw some comments down there. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and we'll look for you to watch our next video when it comes out. Thanks for watching.